Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharyamadhyamam Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam Nidhaya Hridi Vishveshvam Vidhaya Guru Vandanam Balanam Sukhabodhaya Kriyate Tarka samgraha. Okay, so last time we saw Ishvara, mind, etc. All that we are saying. Any questions or shall we go ahead?
Swami, I wanted to ask a question. You were explaining about the size of the mind, that the size of the mind is like the size of the mind. You had asked the question, what would be the size of the mind?
Yeah.
It's like you can take it as like, the size of the body, because every cell,
Yeah.
but then that every cell would have a memory in it, when I think
Yes.
about the other functions of the mind, like say for example thoughts, then thoughts can be that don't seem to be only constrained to the size of the mind or anything, because like I'm thinking now, I the next second, I may be on the moon. So then that way, then the mind doesn't seem to have any age or limit or
Correct.
So then,
It is true. Mind doesn't have an age. There is no aging factor. Yeah. Yes, how the mind is eternal. Correct. I'm dealing with that. Okay. Yeah. There is no real aging factor for the mind. Now, what you talk, that somebody is mentally aged. That happens only. Please come. That happens only because the connection with the body is so strong, the connection of that person with the body is so strong, and the identification is so strong, I feel old. I feel old not from the standpoint of the mind, from the standpoint of the body. So I feel old because I have got aches and pains. So undergo this treatment, all aches and pains gone, then what happens? Body is still the same age, but mentally you'll feel young. Or you get a new project on hand. You're 70 and you're starting a new project. Come on, I'm enthusiastic. What happened to your age? 70 is not a time to start a new project. 70 is not the age to start a new project. 70 is the time to retire. No? But you started, you will feel enthusiastic. That is experience wise. Plus, as we have seen earlier, in Tarka, yes, because mind is Anu, short. In Vedanta, there is no real limit for the mind because, as we said, every cell is alive. If every cell is alive, consciousness is present there. For consciousness to be present, the mind has to be there. Otherwise, consciousness will not be manifest. Then he talked about memory. There is something known as cellular memory. Okay? Cellular memory is there. That's why a cell dies, but the cell that is replaced is identical to the cell that is gone. That's why even though the cell dies, you don't really lose weight. Cell dies, is replaced with another cell. Okay? Cellular memory is there. There is communication between the cells based on electrical impulses, etc. There are 2-3 pathways for it. So all this shows what? That there is manifested awareness in the cell. Now, if the cell is not affected if the mind is not affected by time, it has a relative eternity. No? It is not eternal in terms of Atma, but a relative eternity it has. Remember, even Tarka, now we are shifting 2 standpoints, so be careful. In Tarka, you will say, mind is eternal. Why? Because it goes from body to body. Or, that is our Vedanta argument, it goes from body to body, therefore it is eternal. As far as Tarka is concerned, mind is also made up of Paramanus. So, Paramanu level, everything is eternal. So, that eternity there is hanging around for a long time. What we call as Pravaha Nityatvam. This is a flow, and as long as The creation is there, it will be there. When the creation is not, it will not be there. Whereas, as far as Vedanta is concerned, mind is eternal because even space does not limit the mind, really speaking. But the mind is limited by its identification. There is a certain jivatvam there. The conclusion, because remember, consciousness manifests in the mind. In the mind there is ignorance. So when you say consciousness manifests, mind, whole Sukshma Sharira is involved. If Sukshma Sharira is involved, the subtle body is involved, there is the unconscious, which is pure avidya, etc. There is your karma, there is your memory, all this is there in the mind. Now, if mind is unconditioned by time or space, it should be one across everything. No? But a certain aspect of the mind is identified with, because of its experiences and ignorance, it's identified to a certain small entity, to a certain pranic connection, and from that the body. So let us say this body connection is there. Okay? Now, right now. So because the identification with this body, it is different from you. The mind also is not connected. There is no connection between my mind to your mind. In the way, in practical terms of experience, it is not there. Okay? But Fridtjof Capra has written a book called The Tipping Point. You should read that. Very interesting. Okay? Why? Because this is called the experiment of the 100th monkey. So, a group of people were doing, this is the disturbance that is coming. Because, okay, the people were on an island. There's a whole group of islands in the Pacific, and they were studying the same breed of monkeys, species of monkeys in different islands. So one night it rained heavily, okay? And since it rained heavily, the fruits fell into the mud and got dirty. Now monkeys usually don't go and wash the fruit. But in one of the islands, one monkey did it. He went to the stream, washed it and ate it. Seeing him, some other monkeys on the island did it. So naturally monkeys, they'll imitate. So all the monkeys, they are doing it. So when there is a critical mass of people, of monkeys doing it there, and the scientists were in radio contact with the scientists in other islands also. They said, our monkeys are doing this, are your monkeys doing it? No. They are not washing the food. But when a critical mass developed here, the monkeys across also started doing it. So across 3 islands you found, all the monkeys are now washing the fruit. Even in advertising, etc., we will call it the critical mass. No? An idea, when you reach a certain mass, it becomes natural in the society. So this is the theory where, now how does that space-time distance between one island and another, how did that get bridged in the mind? Because obviously the idea left from these monkeys to those monkeys. So obviously somewhere the mind is connected. All that. So that's why in Vedanta we will say cosmic mind is one, Hiranyagarbha. We are all part of the cosmic mind. So we are all part of Hiranyagarbha, the cosmic mind. Correct? We are all part of the cosmic mind. If you are all part of the cosmic mind, then mind is one. Time and space doesn't affect it. But why is it not being experienced? Because the identification with the body is strong. So how can it be eternal and still be disconnected? Because it is not Satyam. Mind is not Satyam, mind is Mithya. Because mind is Mithya, it will not have the same degree of eternity as Atma has. It does not have the same degree of reality. So the same eternity won't be applied to the mind. But it transcends time and space. So all this, telepathy, it's all connecting through the cosmic mind only. My connection with you through the cosmic mind happened, therefore telepathy, etc. happens. But now look at it. I have divided the mind into one small area here because of identification. That mind cannot hold the whole knowledge. It is too small. So all knowledge in the cosmic mind you will not get. That is Ishvara's mind. So only Ishvara will have that knowledge. Our knowledge will be limited. Always be limited. Yeah.
So the mind can hold that the limitless and resolve,
Yeah.
get resolved in that.
Yeah. Then you have to resolve the mind. You have to resolve your identification of the mind. Yeah. Use it as a tool for functioning. That is why the idea that the mind is only a tool and not you is introduced right in the beginning by calling it Antakaranam. Karanam is a tool. Bahya Karanam, external tool body, internal tool mind. So the aspect that is only a tool is introduced right there. Beginning itself it is said. Antakaranam. Karanam, instrument, not you. Now out of ignorance is taken as me, etc. All that we have to see. Yeah. So the mind is eternal in Vedanta also. In this sense it is eternal. Not eternal as the Atma is. Because mind will survive death. No? Body dies, mind survives. That's why you carry forward samskaras, this, that, etc. Lifetime to lifetime you will carry forward certain things. Certain things will be junked. Certain new samskaras will be picked up. Yeah. So, like if a child is born in India, at 2 years the child is enjoying cheese. Where did they get the taste from? Cheese is not part of our regular diet. When we make Italian or something, we'll have cheese. We make a sandwich, we'll have cheese. Otherwise, where we have cheese? We don't have. So where did the 2-year-old get the taste from? Previous samskaras. Yeah, it's all previous samskaras. Yeah. So like that we carry forward. Music. To tone deaf families, a child is born with for the parents that it's not music, it's only noise. I knew a child born in this family where the washing machine is running, na? In the dry cycle, the child will go there and stand in front of the washing machine, keeping pace with that cycle. His ear is picking up that sound and he finds that there is some music and rhythm there. Whereas, have you ever bothered about it? Washing machine. Yeah. But somewhere there is a music there in that child. Previous samskaras. Yeah. Samskaras. So certain taste, this, that, etc. is like that. So that shows the mind surviving from birth to birth, death to death, it goes on. So the mind doesn't age. There is no aging for the mind. There can be a mature mind, there can be a not so mature mind. That's fine. Huh? The music, samskara of the music, not the washing machine. The sound that is creating in the spin circle, there is a sound, there is a rhythm there. That the child was identifying with. There is where the whole thing comes from, So, yeah. Okay. All right. Now, Saptadravyas are over. 7 substances. We saw last time. 8 substances, sorry. 9. Now, including the mind. Navadravyani over. Okay. Next one is Guna. Next one is Guna. 24 Gunas. First few Gunas are very simple. Okay. Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, Pakka, number, etc. is some yoga, viyoga also very simple. Have you seen some of this? No. It's only from the 16th one. When cognition starts, all the fun starts. Okay? Yeah. And after that it goes into epistemology. There real Tarka starts. Okay? Up to this is only background, some data. Yeah. 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 Good question. Yeah. Because even plant life has mind. Yeah. Okay. Now, when you look, okay, the question is, we have been talking about mind as human. What about plant and animal life? What about the mind there? Very interesting. When you look at it from the Vedanta standpoint, okay, now I have been forced to use the term standpoint, etc., though I don't really call it as a standpoint. But because we are dealing Tarka, science, Vedanta, we are looking at it like that. Okay? In Vedanta, consciousness manifests in a mind, any mind, is a jiva. So, Sukshma Sharira will have the capacity of the organs, etc. also. All that is in prana, etc., all included. Now, after death, what happens to this jiva? Obviously, since the jiva has not got any moksha, some other dimension, and after that, another birth. After some birth. So, what birth? Okay. What birth will it take? What birth will it take? What happened? Finding it difficult to put it off? Okay. We'll lower the volume and keep. No? Yeah. So, when you are talking about the birth, what birth? How will you take a birth? Yatha karma, yatha jnanam, Gita. Into keeping with your karma. Now, my karma is good or bad enough to be born on earth, the earthly dimension, the in-between dimension. Okay? It is pure punya, it will be higher dimensions, it is pure papa, lower dimension. In between, Mishra karma is born here. But when you say Mishra karma, udhar bhi variations hota hai. It's a range. Like higher dimension means what? Pitriloka will have a range, Indraloka will have a range. This is all range. There is a certain range. Why? Because you go to heaven, Indraloka. There also there is a range, no? The karma devatas, they are all right next to Indra. I am sitting far away and you know? Yeah. Same है. वो star culture उधर भी होता है. Ramba Urushi and all are like Aishwarya Rai and all that, you know. हमारा पास नहीं आना. Okay. Joking, don't take it too seriously. Okay. Anyway, so what I am trying to say is there is a range. There is Sukha Dukkha Taratamyam in Sanskrit. Ups and downs with respect to Sukha and Dukkha. Now, earthly dimension is also the same. So, you have many life forms. All that life forms are what? Probably people who were humans before, because of certain papa karma, born into lower life forms. Like a plant. Why do you say lower life form? One thing, you are stuck in the tree for the next 80 years, 100 years, 200 years sometimes. Then a dog comes and does something there. Oh my God. You can imagine what the jiva will feel. And the jiva in his previous lifetime was very finicky about all these things. Torture, no? A kid will come and break off a twig. Ouch! It's like somebody pulling off hair, you know. Oh, puja ke liye all the flowers are. It's painful. No? Can you see that experience of pain is much more there? Physical pain. Yeah. But all emotional pain also, a lot of it comes from physical pain. No? So they are called Papa Yonis because of that. So now what is a Papa Yoni? A human mind, a mind that is capable of thinking like a human, but trapped in a upadhi that cannot function like a human being, like an animal or a pet. Difference between a pet dog and a street dog. Again, both are dogs, but the sukha dukkha difference is great, no? There he has to forage in the street, fight with other dogs. Here, well looked after like a member of the family. Sleeps on the bed only. Dogs are not meant to be kept on your bed, okay? You create a lot of allergies and all because of that. Okay? Yeah, this is one thing I found in most of the families that I stayed with abroad. They have pets, but the pet is restricted. Okay? There are certain restrictions. Like ground floor, where there's a backyard and all, they can play. Ground floor inside they can come. But they don't go up to the bedrooms and everything. I think that's a healthy thing in many ways. But in India, a pet lover watching this video will say, oh my God, Swamiji doesn't love animals. Yeah, I know, people do that. But see, it is supposed to go through its papa karma. If you're giving it too much of comfort, you'll have to have another lifetime as a dog to exhaust those karmas. That's why, of course, at the same time, in association with human beings, some sort of evolution also happens. Because part of evolution is by mimicking. So you mimic. A wild dog is not jealous of another dog. But your pet dog can be jealous if a new baby is brought in. Only? Jealous, yeah. He'll have basic emotions, anger, sad, mad, glad, those type of emotions. Basic emotions will have. The human emotions of jealousy, etc. Wild dog doesn't have it. Yeah. Because it doesn't come to the level of jealousy. Like say, two wild dogs are competing for the same female dog's affection. They'll fight each other and settle it. Jealousy कुछ नहीं होता है. Both of us want, you fight each other and get whoever wins get it. Finish. No jealousy business. That guy, nothing like that. Yeah. And the female dog is also not bothered. We'll see who wins. I'll go with that guy. Very clear, very simple. Sometimes human beings also exhibit such tendencies. But that apart, so it's very clean, straightforward. So this is what happens to the mind. So the mind being what it is, it can get trapped in different upadhis. Yeah. And one way, certain memories are blocked in your lifetime now, like past life memories, memories of other dimensions, etc. are blocked because it will become too much of emotional baggage for you to carry. Yeah. As it is when you live 30, 40, 50 years, you have so much of emotional baggage of this lifetime. My mother was like that. My father was like that. My brother did this. All family. There's so much of emotional baggage. Imagine last lifetime kabhi aaya. The emotional baggage will kill you all, you know. Yeah. And memories also come. My son was my enemy in my last lifetime. Oh my God. Then what? This guy killed my father. Last lifetime, not this lifetime. How do you handle it? How do you handle that emotion? So certain things are blocked, which is healthy. Yeah. Then why are you born like that? Some karma phala. There's a connection and this thing that has to be taken care of. Some karmic debts are there to be paid off. So that happens. So better you don't know. Most of the things, if you don't know, it's better. Yeah. Because the emotional baggage will be too much. If you can handle your emotional baggage of this lifetime and then you're open to other lifetime memories, not a problem. Now sometimes, even though it is blocked, the samskaras can become painful. And therefore, to deal with those samskaras, you may have to access some of those memories. This is only in rare psychological cases, where this memory is coming through somewhere or the other as samskaras, and therefore I have to access it to take care of. Like phobias, etc., they are because of that. Phobias are because of that. Yeah, some of you have experienced that, so you know that how you handle this previous lifetime stuff. That's okay. That's rare cases. Yeah, rare cases. Yeah. So that is for the mind. This is from the Vedic perspective of things. Okay. Any other questions or fine? Yeah. You have to speak a bit louder because there's too much of echo.
Knowledge, the meaning of knowledge is awareness.
Knowledge?
Means awareness. You have knowledge, so you are aware. But then you also said that the implied meaning would be.
Can someone repeat that? I'm not hearing it clearly.
She's saying that meaning of knowledge you said is awareness. Yeah.
Lakshana. Yeah, knowledge, see, the word in Sanskrit when you are using for the Atma or for knowledge is Jnanam. Yeah. Or Chaitanya. These are the Chit. Chit, Chaitanyam, Jnanam. These will be the words used for the Atma. But the meaning of the Atma comes in only by implication. It is not the direct meaning of the word. Yeah, it's always the implied meaning. Because knowledge is knowledge. Awareness. Okay, because we have heard the word awareness in the classes, etc. You think awareness means Atma? No. Social awareness, political awareness, economic awareness. What is all this? Your generalized knowledge about these things. The generalized knowledge without focusing on any specific thing is called awareness. So you have all these awareness. But the implied meaning of that word goes into the definition of the Atma. It's always by implied. It can never be a direct meaning. But we have used implication so often. Yeah. We have used this word so often. We think awareness means Atma. Truth means Atma. You remember that mess that happened in that camp? We are discussing Khalil Gibran. I'm telling you, we murdered that text. In the process of discussion, we murdered that text. Yeah, Prophet. And there he mentions the statement, don't say you have discovered the truth, say you have discovered a truth. So all this, how can he say something like that? Forgetting, he is talking about your functioning world. He is not talking about Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, that truth. He is talking about your functioning world. Functioning world is always like that. No? What you call as true is from a certain standpoint, a certain perspective. You shift the perspective, the whole thing changes. Scientific facts are also like that. It's from a perspective, from a framework. I always give this example. No? Light is a wave motion. Light travels as wave, it's an energy, wave motion. But this is based on straight line theory of light. It works. So it's from a certain framework, from a certain perspective. So that's why you have to be careful with the words. Whenever any word is used with respect to the Atma, you have to understand it is the implied meaning of that word, not the direct meaning. So the limitation of the direct meaning will not come in. Like Jnanam, knowledge. How can Atma be knowledge? The implied meaning, the awareness, Implied meaning of the word awareness also. So it's always the implied meaning. Otherwise, why should we have that whole Mahavakya, Vichara, etc.? Direct meaning, implied meaning, all those things comes in because of that. Yeah. Those who are shaky with that implied meaning thing, my Mahavakya Vichara, YouTube mein hai. Go through that. Yeah. For those who just finish the Gita, etc., I will be doing that, so don't worry. Yeah. Okay. Sashi has got a doubt. Oh, सोचना है नहीं सोचना पूछता है. Okay. Even when you say consciousness, by what do you call it? As a convention, okay, especially in the Western world, as a convention, when you are speaking of consciousness, we will refer to the I consciousness. Otherwise, other things will be called knowledge, awareness, etc. That's just a convention. Yeah. But the consciousness that science talks about is manifested consciousness. What we talk about is unmanifested pure consciousness. So that difference comes in there also. Yeah. Yeah. That's how in science it's always a paradigm of the mind. Yeah. Yeah. The capacity to organize information. What is the answer to that argument by one word from the Brahma Sutra Bhashya? Those who have done the Brahma Sutra Bhashya, there is a one word answer of consciousness being product of mind, etc. One word answer. Okay, I will narrow it down. Adhyasa Bhashya. Adhyasa Bhashya also narrow it down further to the Pramana Bhashya aspect of Adhyasa Bhashya. One word answer. Pashvadivischa Abhishesha, non different from a cow, etc. देखो जाके. Go. Yeah. Towards the end, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it's okay, don't worry about it. This is a sidelight for those who have done that. Go look at that, those things again. Yeah, you have to look at it with fresh eyes now. Huh? It is applied for this also. The question of information arrangement. If information is arrangement is consciousness, then the same thing is there in animals also. What is the question? What is the answer? Think about it, Anand. The thing is from this angle, not from just behavior angle. And when saying behavior, what exactly are you implying by behavior? How you know things? How you respond to things? How you use logic? Because then what? Then you will say, what is the difference between cow's brain and my brain? Is the difference lying only in the brain, or the difference in consciousness, or difference in functioning? Huh? It's in a lot of aspects it is there. And all these questions comes up because you are talking about manifested consciousness. Yeah. It's from there we took off. All these questions come up because you are talking about manifested consciousness. Huh? Animal brain may not be that evolved. But remember the jiva that has gone into it. It is the jiva that has gone into the animal mind. Animal brain is the jiva that has gone in. That jiva could have been anyone before. Last lifetime the jiva may have been a scientist for all you know. Or must have come to a Vedanta class and behaved in a very lazy fashion. So God said, isko buffalo kar do ye time. Next time he will never be a buffalo, never be lazy again. I'm joking, okay? Don't take it too seriously. Okay. What is that? Hey, what is the question? What is the question? Okay, you lost track of it a bit. Pashvadibhihi, Pashvadibhischa avisheshat. Towards the end of the Adhyasa Bhashya it comes. I am using that to answer these arguments, okay? Yeah, I am using it. There contextually it is something else, but it is implied there. Because the whole thing is Pramana Bhashya. Dealing with Pramana, how logic in everything is used. Okay. So never mind about the mind now. Okay. Let us go ahead. Okay. Okay. So now we are coming to the third section, which deals with all the gunas. Okay. Start with Rupam. Rupam in Tarka is taken as color. In Vedanta, form as well. Form as well. Okay. Chakshu matra gahya gunaha rupam. Shatru chakshu matra grahya. That which can be recognized only by your eyes is called rupam. Simple. You don't have to, there is no philosophical discussion here. What can be known only by the eyes. Okay. Why only by the eyes? What about number? There are 5 books here. That's also known by the eyes. Is that also Rupa? Color. Remember color. Rupa means color. They have to define, restrict the definition to color. Therefore, Sankhya in numbers, Ati Vyapti Nivaranaya. To see that it doesn't extend to number, you will say only by the eyes. Why? Number can be felt also and no, kitna hai? 5 books. So, to negate that, they are saying only by the eyes. Are you getting the idea? Only by the eyes because of that. Okay. Okay. Why are you repeating guna? Because it should not go to the jati of gunas, etc. Okay? All right. Touch and this color, see, again, these are by definitions, okay? Not necessarily by observation. Like in science, we will talk about how many colors? 7. 7 colors of the rainbow. That's all colors that are there in science, okay? Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Because this is within the range of human perception. What about peach? Ladies, here, peach is a color. No? You ask a man, he'll say peach is a fruit, not a color. Then sea green, parrot green, mango green. Green hai na. So, but see, it is all variations because of your one way of looking at it. The frequency of the vibrations, color frequencies of light. Accordingly, that you are seeing a color. That's one way of looking, one paradigm. Here they go to a simpler paradigm. Touch. What are the colors? Shuklam, white. Neelaha, blue. Peetaha, yellow. Raktaha, red. Haritaha, green. Kapishaha, brown. Chitragu. And Chitraha. Chitra is what? This is the funny part. Variegated colors, a mixture of colors. So, now why should you put mixture of colors? Yaar, ye kya hai? Okay? Vedat Saptavidam. So, the 7 number is maintained by these people and science both. 7 colors of the rainbow or 7 colors according to this description. Brown doesn't come there. But you see brown. You see brown. But okay. Therefore, this is Saptaveda. Now, okay, we'll come to that. Prithvi, Jala, Tejaha, Vritti. It is found in Prithvi, earth, naturally. Jalam, water. Tejaha, fire or light. Okay, all these colors are found. Tatra Prithivyam Saptavedam. All 7 are found in earth. Earth means anything material. All 7 are found. Then Abhasa Swara Shuklam Jale. Okay. And what? Abhasa Shuklam. A very light form of whiteness is found in water. It's almost transparent, but they'll call it as Abhasa Shuklam. Okay. And Bhaswara Shuklam Tejasi. Bright white light is found in fire. Fire you will say is red, no? Or saffron color, isn't it? Huh? White heat or sunlight, therefore they will say white. Have you heard of white heat? No? When the heat is so much, it looks white. Like the sunlight, it looks white. To an extent, even the tube light, why does it look white? You call it white light, no? Meaning it doesn't have any. That's right. Okay. Huh? Vrittihi. Vrittihi meaning is found in that. It is manifest in them. It obtains in them. Then why are they putting this variegated colors, Chitragu, etc.? Not necessary, na? Because it's only a mixture. Okay. Okay. Nanu Chitrapate, okay. He says it is only because it is Pratyaksha Siddhi. It's available for your perception. No? You take a colorful cloth, look at all your dupattas or look at a sari. Okay? Look at the clothes the women are wearing here. Multiple colors are seen. No? Pratyaksha Siddhi. Pratyaksha Pramanena Siddham, that's all. So you take it like that. There is no great argument here. There is no great. Just by, see, some things in some systems are just by definition. This is it. Because can you dismiss the fact that you are seeing it? No, you can't dismiss it. Therefore, Pratyaksha Siddham. Okay. Pratyaksha Siddhena, you will see it is all there. Yeah. Then next one is taste. Okay. Rasana grahya gunaha rasaha. What is experienced by your tongue is called taste. What is that? Sixfold. Science accepts only 5. 4 initially, 5 they have added now recently. So 6. What is that? Madhura, Amla, Lavana, Katuka, Kashaya, Tiktaha, Vedat, Shadvidaha. What is that? He says Madhuram sweet, okay, Amalam, sour things, okay. Then Lavanam salty, Katu pungent, Kashaya, they added one. Huh? What is that? Kashaya is like bitter, yeah. You can say bitter, Okay. Okay. Kashaya, tiktaha, what is hot, spicy, yeah. So these are the 6 days. In Ayurvedic cooking, you are supposed to have all the 6 days, okay? Huh? Tikta is this thing. They have put tikta as astringent in the translation. Annie Besant translations these are, that's why. By Annie, because at that generation, the English speaking people did not know Sanskrit. And the Sanskrit Panditas did not know English. So in between, they had to make a translation available. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so because of that, such words came into the picture. In Ayurvedic cooking, you are supposed to have all the 6 tastes. Okay? And, okay, it's a side light. But according to Ayurveda, when are you supposed to have the sweets? Before the meal. You start with a sweet. You start with a sweet. You don't end with a sweet. That's why when you go for a traditional sadhya, you know, a South Indian meal or like a wedding or something like that, they'll always serve a little bit of the payasam initially. You're supposed to take that sweet. But you don't eat sweets every day. In Indian cooking tradition, you don't eat sweets. So what replaces that? No. When you're serving in your meal, traditional leaf servings. Rice and a bit of dal with a bit of ghee. Yeah. Yeah. The ghee, rice on and that ghee is put because why? They recognize one thing very clearly. When you say sweet, you are talking about carbs, which includes rice. That's why Ayurvedic cooking went into that direction. Okay? So 6 days. Ayurveda recognizes these 6. And that's why you have the taste accordingly. Okay. Then he says, Prithvi Jala Vrittihi. These states will be found in Prithvi and water. Prithiviyam Shadvida. All 6 are found in Prithvi. Jalam only Madhuram. Where water is tasteless. Not really. Then why are you saying this is saline water, this is sweet water? You say that is saline water, this is normal water. No? Exactly. Then the other water should be normal water. But why do you say sweet water? If you really taste water, it's got a mildly sweetness. Water is the basic, it's almost like a neutral taste. Okay, it's almost a neutral taste. But when you take water, pure water, not your distilled varieties, not your distilled variety, take it from the Ganga or something.
Distilled water has a different taste altogether.
Exactly, because oxygen, you find a lot of things missing in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. These are all simple by definition, it goes like this, you know. Yeah. Then Gandham, smell. Okay. Any question or is okay?
Yes, when we look at the Jnanendriyas,
Yeah.
that time water stands for taste, right?
Yeah. In Vedanta you are talking about.
But here they are saying water one taste, yeah. In Vedanta.
Yeah. So water stands for taste in Jnanendriyas because here the taste is, water is the base for that taste. Because without water, you will not be able to taste anything. That is why salivation becomes so important. Without saliva, if your mouth is completely dry, let us say you are dehydrated, you lose your sense of taste as well. Because no saliva formation, how do you get the taste? So water becomes a carrier of taste like. That's why in Vedanta we put water as the base for the taste indriya, the tongue. Evolved from the water, etc. That way. Then Gandha. Grahana, Grahya, Guna, Gandha. Gandha is what you get from smell, what is gained by the nose. Okay. So Dvidaha, twofold. Surabhi, Asurabhisha. It's simple, very clean divisions. Okay. I'm sure a man has written this, not a woman. Only two smells, favorable and not favorable. बस और कुछ नहीं है. So don't look for musky smell, aromatic, flowery essence. वो सब मत देखो इधर. Okay. Flowery, musk, favorable, unfavorable. I like it. Favorable. Don't unfavorable. So, earthy smells in your perfumes I'm talking about. Okay. How do you know so much about perfumes? How do I know? Past. Sailor tha na? So as a sailor you have to keep, when you go abroad and come you have to give gifts, no, to people. No, according to whom you are giving, you will gift. Don't ask further, okay? Recently people are scaring us, You have to report to the airport 4 hours in advance at least, because otherwise so much of security queue, this, that. So I walked into Heathrow airport after the yoga festival 4 hours earlier. Within 1 hour everything is done. Checking in, there's security clearance, document upload, everything is over. अभी क्या करेगा? 3 घंटा है. And I had to shop something for some people. So someone's birthday was coming up, so Swami said, my sister-in-law has asked for some perfume. Dekhega. There you find all this earthly smells, flowery. Flowery is meant for the daytime. More musk, etc., more for nighttime smells. मालूम है सब. Because they were explaining all that, thinking, साधु dress में अनपढ़ गवा रहा है, कुछ पता नहीं है. I also played along. Let me see what they are saying now. Time pass ho gaya. That apart, here they are not bothered about that. Favorable, unfavorable, छोड़ो ना अभी सब. It's not important. Okay. Okay. So Swamiji, in your culture, you didn't bother much about smell, etc. In Tarka, when you are looking into the philosophical nature of things, you are not bothering about it. But lot of Ayurvedic diagnosis is based on smell. Okay? Diagnosis is based on smell. Your emotional condition is based on how you smell. That's also this thing. Okay? Your samskaras are revealed by the sense of smell. Whether there is a spirit or not can be revealed by the sense of smell. Yeah, I smell or spirits. I know immediately. But we are not going into those aspects here. Here, simple philosophical aspect. Okay? As scientific as possible. Remember, this is a forerunner of science. So they went by experience. Favorable, unfavorable. Chalo, classify. Finished. Then touch, sparsham. Tvag indriya matra grahya grana sparsham. That is true. So, okay, a question is raised here. All smells are called fragrances. All perfumes are fragrant. No? Correct? So, all perfumes will come under favorable smell. Individual likes and dislikes is not taken into account. We are looking at it more globally. Because someone may say, this perfume, I don't like it. I can't wear it. It's too feminine. I have seen girls saying this. It's too feminine, I can't wear it. But it's too feminine, you're a woman. Come on. What do you mean too feminine? Yeah. Because it's a question of what you have as samskaras. Yeah. Then what do you want? Manly perfume? Manly perfume, what will you think of? Mushkil hai. Yeah. But will you have okay, as a digression, will you have A cologne for a man which smells of lavender? No way. No way, no? Lavender for a man? Come on. A lemon is okay. Spice is okay. Musk is okay. Any woody smell, smell of wood, etc., smoky smell is okay. This is all cultural. Remember this. This is purely cultural. Yeah, purely cultural. But you have these cultural countries. This thing, no? Yeah. Lavender for a woman is great. Not for a man. Why? I should be careful because somebody will start. But this is sexyism based on perfumes. किधर से किधर जाएगा? Yeah, it is. What the hell? Because based on what you like or don't like. So like how in toys you have non-sexy upbringing for children. Now in perfumes also they'll have to be non-sexy. Crazy. Okay? It's all crazy. Pushing it too far. These are all how people have tastes have developed as product of your evolution, your socialization. Everything comes into the picture. What do you like? You know, to make political issues of everything is a problem. Okay? To look into all these and talk about political issues is a big problem. There's a very great psychologist called Phil McGraw. Okay? He's written a lot of books, Getting Real in Life, etc. All that. Good, very good books. And he's not the normal conventional psychologist who go one-to-one therapy. He took a whole town in US, a whole town in small towns, and said, let us talk about the psychological health of the whole community and how to develop it. So that is the kind of guy he is. So he used to make this statement, this political correctness will kill us all. Being too politically correct is a problem because then that gets opposed to what is true, what is factually true. Yeah. What is factually true? What is factually true is that many women like lavender. Many, I didn't say all women. I said many women like lavender. Factually true. Many men will like musk for themselves. For women, they like lavender. I mean, this is a social thing. We should bring up without social conditioning. What for? What is it a problem in life? Why is it a problem? You are making it a problem. Yeah. You are making it a problem. So, this social correctness, etc., should be kept out of any scientific study. Okay? As society, you can have some sort of correctness. Like, certain words, etc., you will not use because they are not respectful of certain cultures, etc. That's fine. Okay? Not otherwise. Okay? So, up to touch we have seen. Okay? It's 12:35. Okay? So, we will carry it on the next class. Okay?